Okay. Do you think we'll actually see the festival this time? We didn't get to see the festival last game. Who knows? Maybe I did everything right with Sayori. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't matter. Of all days, I expect this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. There's no music whatsoever. Asters, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny, I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that of all the poems we're performing. Did I pick a poem? In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted. Oh, well, there you go. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking, but maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. Aha. You should take a little responsibility for her, Asters. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Monica? You're in second now. You know what? After that one, you're in second. No. 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 But of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? Okay. I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Huh? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason, I feel a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets and laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the other ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, get out of my head. My head. I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Ah, what is this? In the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Asters? What's wrong? Nothing. The poem feels completely different from anything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to go get Sayori, so... Ah, well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, squiggle. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. I need a minute. She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. can't believe I ended up doing this after all. It really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. No response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. It's kind of a breach of privacy. No, that's the same line from the other game. There's no choice. No, this is the final line. Warning. Click off this video if you aren't feeling too good right now or you just ate. Oh, I hate it. I hate it still. I knew it was coming and I hate it. No, sayonara. Can I click to make stop? What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sarah wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best, and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her? I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts just kept telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always has been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. Someone's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can just reset and try something different. I had only one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. Getting through that is rough. Donkey. Ah, ooh. Sayori, you've seen better days. In fact, are any of these? None of these are Sayori. Because I see Yuri's hair, Natsuki's hair, Monika's the main one here. Okay. See annoying girl running towards that girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know what kind of friend? Yeah, I've seen this before. Seen it before. However, I sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk. I didn't click away from that dot. Ooh. Start a new game. Yeah. An ordinary school day like no other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by a couple of friends groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. School day is as ordinary as ever. It's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding of me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Asters. Boo. Monika. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but that's when we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class, smart, beautiful, and athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the database club, right? Or the debate club. About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah, to be honest, I can't stand the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare the events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing. There are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Asters, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I refuse someone like Monica? I would have said the same thing, like 2 days ago. Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Acers. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go, then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Aw. Wait. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. Yeah, it makes you realize how much Sayori was in the game the first time compared to everyone else. Especially the beginning, of course. I dejectedly, still, follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Do I have to read all this again? The eyes. I forgot the eyes. The eyes. I forgot. I'm back. And I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? It'd kill the atmosphere. Don't say kill. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Asters. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? Whoa. No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual, and this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So, I ran into Asters in a classroom, and he decided to come back check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Asters? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I seat next to Monica. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. I'm kind of rushing through the dialogue because, yeah, we've been through this, only slightly different. Also, the music's back. Cool. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? After I'm done recording this episode, I'm going to need a break because my voice is killing me. And this is my 3rd episode today. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Asters, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly turns and perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri just... my favorites are usually novels that build complex worlds of creativity. Just like me, kind of, only I like movies more. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate around reading. She seems... But, I like a lot of things, stories with deep psychological... it's amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage, yeah. I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I just really grasped onto something I can relate to, even if it's at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I didn't expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. Give me that back. Fine, squiggle. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing the level of writing it takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just had an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write poems of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone's even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president, after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good first step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Asters? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? It's the most important topic. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. So this is what dejected looks like. But I'm sorry, I thought, The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Asters. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. And how am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation, and besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right, okay, I've made my decision then, I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Asters? Yeah, could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Asters, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Asters, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Squiggle. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wandered back and forth between the three girls, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after class in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess it starts with writing a poem tonight. I'm going to save? Wait. Oh yeah, because it's a new game. Now that I've saved, because I just saved, before I end today's episode a bit early because of my throat, and also because we're about to write a poem, I'm going to exit. Actually, no. What? Choose not to quit DDLC. Really? I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I'll write a poem. Gee, thanks. Thanks for the poem. Thanks for the poem. Okay. I have to go with the ones that I think are typically Sayori. Oh, and I can save in here. Okay. Flower. Fun. Sing. Joy. Really? Have they just been spread amongst them? Dream. Sunny. Melody. Eternity. Imagination. Breath. I'm looking for words that were maybe in Monica's song in the last game. Laugh. Hope. Smile. Ocean. Music. Together. Amazing. Silly. Color. Oh. Hi. Hi again, Asters. Yeah. Yeah, I want to see what I got. What's new? I'll be your beach. Lady who knows everything. I got this cool thing. Choose to help Natsuki for the festival preparations. Reply I love you to Sayori's confession. No secrets. This new background. This new background. In Act 1, try both Sayori and Monica for weekend help before choosing Natsuki or Yuri. Of course. They are best girls as far as I'm concerned. I could still set mine to Sayori, even when she's not in the game. Oh, by the way. Yep. New music. Sayonara. Wow. I wasn't mentally prepared for this one. Well, I was, but I also wasn't. I was as prepared as I could be. Wow. You really don't get over it too well. I miss you, Sayori. But for now, I hope you'll be back to see the next episode of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus and see just how much the game is different without one character. I guess we'll just have to see how different this game can be. See you guys then. Bye-bye.